Greetings to you on this beautiful Sunday morning. Here in North America, it is Mother's Day. And so I do want to wish my wife and the mother of our dear children a very happy and special day, and to all of the mothers around the world or in North America whenever Mother's Day is celebrated today. I want to talk to you a little bit about life and the design of life from the perspective of God's promises. The question that I would ask at the very beginning is this: are we really living? Are we really living the life that God designed for us to live? Now, this question needs to be answered in the context of the sovereignty of God, that He made life, He made everything there is in life. He has a master plan for life, and the free will that God actually gives us to live life within His design. It hardly needs to be said, but I'll say it anyway. Life is more than merely existing. Real living, I believe, is found in the connection between the reality of our situation, good, bad, or indifferent, and the knowledge that our Creator God knows everything about that condition that we're experiencing, and that He still has it under control. When we get to that place in our development as a human being, when we get to that place, when we understand that no matter what happens, our faith dictates, our faith tells us, our faith reinforces that God has everything under control, that will be a special place. You see, life is not about having everything perfect, or even near to perfect. Beethoven was deaf. Milton was blind. Roosevelt was paralyzed. St. Francis of Assisi was poor. Mozart and Schubert both died relatively young. Jesus was despised and rejected. And yet each of these people, and of course I'm elevating Jesus way above the others, but each of them were able to look at destiny and able to look at fulfillment and able to look at purpose, regardless of what obstacle was in their way, and live their life to full completion. Not only did they live their life to full completion with regard to their own desires, but they left for us beautiful things to read and beautiful things to listen to and beautiful things to hear and beautiful examples to follow. And of course, the death and resurrection of Jesus Himself, who died for us because His mission in life was not just to fulfill His own desires. In fact, the scripture tells us that He left those aside in order that He would meet the desires of His creation. And He did that by giving His life for us. T.S. Eliot, Thomas Stearns Eliot, writes these words. In fact, he asks these questions. He said, where is the life that we've lost in living? Where is the wisdom that we've lost in knowledge? And where is the knowledge that we've lost in information? These three questions seem very appropriate for today. They've always been appropriate, but today perhaps more than ever before. Where's the life that we've lost in living? We're so busy moving and we're so busy moving at full speed, full tilt, that we're missing out on the real values of life. You know, do we take time to stop and smell the roses? Do we take time to enjoy all of the things that God has created for us? Probably the answer to that is no. Where is the wisdom that we've lost in knowledge? We live in in an information-packed society. But that doesn't mean it's knowledge, and that certainly doesn't mean that there's wisdom. We're gaining knowledge. We're gaining all of these things and all of the abilities to do things we've never perhaps been able to do before. But wisdom is in short supply. And where is the knowledge then that we've lost in information? I don't know if we can contain all the information. Some of it is important, but a lot of it's useless. The information that comes across our brain waves, we don't need it all, because in that we don't have the knowledge to be able to apply to the information that we are receiving. Therefore, we live in an information age that is just being bombarded with details that we don't understand. And the reason we don't understand it is we don't have the knowledge to decipher it. And we don't have the wisdom to decipher the knowledge. And we're losing life in the process. Where's the life that we've lost in living? They're great questions. But these questions do deserve a response. And the response that I would offer today is in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and don't lean on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. I love the Message transliteration of this scripture. Here's what it says. Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go, for he is the one who will keep you on track. God's will for his creation is that we live our lives to the full, that we live our lives completely. And Jesus not only gives us the daily example of this, but he spoke to it in John chapter 10, verse 10. Here's what he said. The thief comes only to steal, to kill, and destroy. But I have come that you may have life, and that you may have it to the full. And in verse 8, Jesus had referred to others who had come before him, and he described those people as thieves and robbers. Oh, friends, I'm not downplaying the challenges of modern living. It is tough. I'm not ignoring the hellish reality that many people are living through and living in right now. Be futile of me to ignore this reality. But that's exactly the reality that Jesus came to address. If that reality wasn't present, there would be no need for Jesus. But it is present, and there is a need for Jesus. And if you are feeling today like the sum of your life is being degraded before your very eyes, if you're wondering where life has gone, if you're waking up at 65 and 70 years of age and you're saying to yourself, what in the world have I done, and where in the world has it gone? And all the things that you once held high, the quality spiritual life, the quality physical life, I suggest that we all return to the marriage of these two scriptures, the one in Proverbs and the one in John chapter 10. Because Jesus, of course, fulfills Old Testament scripture, and he did that when he talked about the thief who comes to steal and destroy, and then himself who comes to bring life and life abundantly. Take a moment this morning to think about what the thief has done. Take a moment this morning to think about the things that you have been robbed of by the devil. He wants to degrade you. He wants to degrade me. He wants to strip us bare. He wants to take away the things that are most dear to us. But Jesus recognized that too. And so he gives us a solution. Jesus is the only answer because he is the author of life. He gave it to us in the beginning, and he is the keeper of life. He can do that if we just place ourselves at his disposal. If we just give him everything that we have. The hymn writer, Howard Gross, wrote these words: "Give of your best to the Master. Give him first place in your heart. Give him first place in your service and consecrate every part. Give, and to you will be given. God, his beloved Son, gave, gratefully seeking to serve him. Give him the best that you have." There's no better way to make sense of life, and there's certainly no better way to fulfill God's plan for you as a human being. May the Lord bless you and keep you. We'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye for now.